It's the NFL on EA Sports. And we'll get a look at this team's veteran linebacker. He'll get after you every chance he can get on defense. This should be a good one to watch. And it comes
We are pleased, as always, to be bringing you coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. Hello again, everyone. Brandon Garden, Charles Davis joining you from the booth. And, Charles, we take a peek at this Vancouver team entering play. Now, losers their last time out, so they'll look to make amends here.
And one of the best ways you can do that is to be at home, and they are. They're going to try and ride that home crowd and that wave of emotion to a victory in this one.
On the other side of the field for our visitors here, they're hitting their stride of late. Winners of 3 of their last 4.
And the offense last week, they had things humming. If you're a defensive player, you may get overshadowed a little bit, but you're really buoyed by what your offense is doing.
The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final 2 bring us as we're off in Week 9? A solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. And they'll be led out by their 8th-year quarterback.
I tell you what, when he is on schedule for that week, secondaries take notice because you've got to stay alert back there on every snap. A truly powerful arm, one is capable of challenging any level of the defense on any given play. That's why so many scouts preach arm talent when preparing for the NFL draft. A quarterback with arm strength to make every throw in the book, he's an asset to have in any offense.
And this one is going to be off the mark, too far out in front. Now a 2nd and 10. Up the middle they go. McKinney. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. So now an early 3rd and 10 here on their opening drive. They'll set up to throw. And this is going to be incomplete.
That was their first 3rd down try of the game, and clearly something was off in the execution of that play. Good news, they've got a whole game left to clean that up and start clicking on those key 3rd down throws.
And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. It'll be a 39-yard punt, no return. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. So now we'll get a look at the other offensive unit as they come out for their first possession. And we get a glance at their leader in the huddle, the veteran, in his 9th season now in the league.
We're seeing it more and more in this league, how teams love to have athletes back there taking the snaps, guys who can throw it and move around and get yardage with their legs if needed. He's one of the best examples that we see out there right now. He can throw for hundreds of yards one week and then run for 100+ the next. He adds an extra dimension that really confounds defenses when he puts it all together.
2nd down, 8 to go from the 28. Back to throw. Hopkins. And that'll be off the mark, too far out in front, and it's incomplete. Hey, look at this defense. They were very strong in that victory from a week ago.
And the big difference in the game, their ability to force turnovers. Multiple, in fact. Being able to take the ball away, give it back to their offense, a big difference in the game.
It was impressive. Now the question, can they duplicate it? 15 yards through the air and a 1st down.
I don't care how many times we say it, I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. 1st down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. Well, this defense very strong in that victory from a week ago.
And as in any game, takeaways are always a big key. They're always discussed on defense. There's an emphasis there. And they came away with 3 interceptions in that game.
And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Give him 14 on that one and a 1st down. Now a handoff up the middle. Woodard, and he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down. From the 33, here's a 2nd and 7. Looking to throw. Hopkins. A quick throw knocked away and incomplete.
He's second in the NFL in interceptions, and you understand why. He plays a game of great intelligence, understands positioning, and has a great ability to break on the football when it's in the air.
So fun to watch his closing speed, and another example of it on that play.
Back-to-back incompletions of what was once a nice drive, stalled out here. I'm going to give credit to the secondary partner. Never gave up as they gave up a few yards, and they came through on that play to deny that pass and force the 4th down.
And he hits the upright, but it caroms in anyway. With plenty of distance there as he banks it in. And that'll make it 3-0 here in the first. So put 3 on the board. A little bit of a hook on the driver that time. Looked a little bit like you, Charles, over on the 8th at Windermere.
You know me too well, partner, except that he got his to hit a tree and kick back into the fairway.
And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. Back onto the field comes this offense, ready for their second drive. 4-4 their record through 8 games on the season. Would you say that this team has overperformed, underperformed, or are they kind of right where you thought that they would be?
Do you mind if I say yes, yes, and yes? Because ultimately to me, 4-4 is about...
Toward the sideline, intercepted. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Charles, you can just see the frustration on the sideline. Safe to say that's not how they expected this series to go. The ball only went one way, and it was backward into their own end zone, courtesy of the pick six.
And, Brandon, how often do we hear offenses tell us before a game they want to end every series with a kick, right? A punt, a PAT, or a field goal. In case of a defense, they wanted to end with a punt or a takeaway. And we saw the takeaway right there, and it turned out to be a takeaway that turned into 6 points.
Extra point right down the middle, and the lead grows to 10-0. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick six. So an early 10-0 lead for them now as they kick it away. Well, now how about this return? And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. And they sit now at 500 on the year. And, Charles, this was a team that really looked lost in that first month or so of the season. But they have had the hot hand lately, winning 3 straight.
I would agree. It's almost hard to believe that this is the same team because we followed them pretty closely throughout this season. And early on, I thought this is going to be a really tough year for this crew. So plenty of credit to them for turning the ship around.
On first down, it's McKinney. And some room to roam now. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. The medical staff is going to come out here and take a look, and we will take a short break. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Blitz coming, and down he goes. They bring the safety on the blitz, and he busts through to drop him for an 8-yard loss. You know darn well both of these teams reviewed the film and saw that this defense had 5 sacks last week. They got to keep their QB upright.
And they're going to try their best to do exactly that. But they're facing a team where getting to the quarterback is a mindset. It's a mantra for them. And they play a game within the game. And you know what it is? Let's race to the quarterback and see who gets there first.
Quick hitter here, it's complete.
In today's football, where receivers break tackles, make people miss, get upfield for the extra yardage, when you see a play like that where it's caught and he's dropped on the spot, that's a big-time play by the defense.
And that is incomplete. But the pressure there on third down, forcing the errant pass. Fourth down coming up.
They're bringing a lot of pressure here already in the first quarter. Already sacked him once. Now they get in there and knock another one away. You think maybe that Tucker rule being gone makes defenses a lot bolder?
Yes, indeed. That time, lucky that the arm was going forward, incomplete pass. So, Charles, they are on the board after that kick. So, 3 drives, 3 points. Obviously not the start that you were hoping for, but they're able to erase that 0 off the scoreboard.
Yeah, I guess what you're saying is a point a drive is not what offenses are striving for by any stretch. They're happy they've got 3 now. They hope that that unlocks their offense for bigger points down the road.
And a good effort on the return there. Gets them across the 30, up to the 33. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down. Clock rolling as we hit the midway point of this first quarter. Off the play fake. Hopkins can't get away, and he's taken down. Call it a loss of 5, a big sack to bring up 3rd down.
Well, competition comes up in so many different ways, and right now, this unit, their competition is who's going to get to the quarterback the most times. Had about 5 sacks last week, and we just saw their first one of this game.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. So he stopped for no gain, and that'll bring up 4th down.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
Well, on that punt, we've got a man shaken up. While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you've met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick other than the extra point. That's it.
2nd and 9 now. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
On 3rd down, Colvin. And he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage. They're able to convert with a gain of 4.
Everyone understood their role on that play. 3rd and 1. You know, the defensive guys, they're trying to get down and get low and get leverage on the offensive linemen, but they didn't allow that to happen. They created a crease and allowed him to get through for a 1st down.
And that is going to be incomplete as he led him a bit too much. When you look at this defense, they've certainly had their struggles against the run at the 30th ranked unit out of 32 teams in the NFL.
The numbers are definitely not in their favor, but every time I click on the film and watch them, I see stretches where they play against the run really well. Their biggest problem, when they give up those explosive runs, those 30, 40, 50-yard runs, that'll really mess up your averages.
And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. 17 yards on the catch and run. It's a 1st down.
And it's a real luxury when you have a guy who can turn a short throw into a solid gain at any moment. Once he caught that ball, he ID'd where the open grass was and got there in a hurry to pick up a new set of downs for his offense.
On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. He'll get 3 yards on the scramble there at 2nd down.
Brandon, once that one broke down, there were only so many options left for him to take. Fortunately, only 1st down, so he smartly got the yardage he could get and didn't worry about trying to turn it into a bigger play and end up taking a bigger loss. Here, they hope they can regroup and get something different going here on 2nd down.
They just keep marching right along. 1st down on a pickup of 8 there. He'll drop to throw. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. The numbers for him from a week ago: 5 catches, 51 yards.
Better tighten up the coverage if you expect to slow this guy down, because if he gets going, he'll eat you up.
2nd and 3. Throwing middle, and it's complete. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
Got his man complete over the middle. That's McKinney. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. They'll try to run this one in. And he is into the end zone for a touchdown. A great play there with his 4th rushing touchdown on the year. And his guys are an extra point away from tying this thing up. That almost looked too easy, and I think thanks goes to the offensive line for making it look easy.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one. I'm not sure how much everyone understands the preparations that go into a game for an offensive line, because there's a reason that running backs and quarterbacks give them big gifts at the end of the season after a big year. The consistency and the continuity it takes to know each other and execute their blocks is pretty impressive.
All level now at 10 apiece as the kick's away. Now a crease here as he's past the 30. The Vancouver offense out and about set for another series. And Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there was a quick 3-and-out, and they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. These two teams all tied after 1. Second quarter down, it's our home team with possession, as they've got it with a 2nd and 1 coming up. Off play action. Hopkins. And he's got the hook up to Moore. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line. Tackled there. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
2nd and short, that's a rundown, so it's definitely a good time to go play action if you're feeling it. And they do so and pick up a first down.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Off the play fake. Hopkins out to his left. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be 2nd down. Back to throw. Hopkins. And he slings one that's incomplete.
But that's a defensive coordinator's got to be happy with that result. They took away all options downfield and forced the incompletion.
From the gun on 3rd down. Hopkins.
He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
So it looked like maybe his 3rd or his 4th read on his progression. Just trying to find his outlet man that time. Ends up leading him just a bit too much.
And his kick is indeed good, and they will take the lead at 13-10.
So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
But now this offense comes back out onto the field. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways, because you know they're both motivated, they both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
After the sack here, 2nd and 11. He'll look to throw. Open here is Allison. That's complete. And that's good for a gain of 6. And it brings up 3rd and 5 now.
They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks.
They'll look to throw here. He finds his man, complete. And it's a fumble. And this will be scooped up by the defense. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line. He was trying to do anything he could to get that final little bit for the first down. Instead, he lost the ball.
Yeah, and he was short of the first down, but not by much. Trying his best, as you noted, to get there. Sometimes that extra effort can cost you.
The Vancouver offense out and about set for another series.
And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try and increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. This is taken at the 18. They'll net only 35 here following a 43-yard boot, 8-yard return.
And they will take over 1st and 10.
They'll start this drive out on the ground. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Looking to throw. Hopkins. This is brought in by Brown. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. A gain of 13. It's a 1st down. Up the middle they go. Woodard. And nothing much materializing there on the 1st down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside. This is 2nd and 8.
Off play action. Hopkins.
He'll get this complete to the rookie 1st-round pick.
And he'll take this all the way down to the 15-yard line. It's a big play there. 44 yards.
They made that way too easy for them. No one is supposed to be that open against an NFL defense. Once he caught the ball, there wasn't anybody close enough to stop him. And he was able to continue downfield after making the catch.
So after the big play, look at this, all the way down at the 15 now on 1st and 10. Back to throw. Hopkins over the middle. It's complete. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
2nd and 2, 1st down marker at the 5-yard line.
Looking to throw. Hopkins. And he rifles one incomplete.
They certainly thought he had an open look beyond the 1st down marker to his receiver, but they just couldn't connect, and that will send them back to the drawing board.
They'll look to throw again. Dancing to his left. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down, so let's see what this is about. So reverse the celebration. We'll see if they have something else in their bag of tricks.
And isn't that always tough to watch when they score and you see the excitement, and then when they realize those points aren't going to count? Can they get it back together and find their way back to...
And it's caught. Touchdown. A great effort there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year as his guys are able to extend their lead. They went empty backfield, all their weapons out wide, so there really was no secret here to what they were going to do.
No secret, but they still had to execute it, and they still had to protect the guy throwing the ball, because oftentimes when you empty the backfield, people bring pressure at you. They managed to hold in there and successfully complete the touchdown pass.
Extra point splits the uprights, and his guys will take a 10-point lead. So that drives 7 plays in length.
And out a little across the 25 to the 27. Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. Defense got the better of them last series, forcing a punt. See if they make a few changes in the game plan here and try to get points out of this drive. 1st and 10.
They'll come out throwing here on 1st down.
On the throw, led him too much that time. It's incomplete.
Just a little beyond the reach there of his receiver. That's probably one he wishes he had back.
He wishes it had been 7-on-7 in practice, or maybe even routes versus air, because that's a completion he makes, what, 9.9 times out of 10? Just missed that one.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down.
Good, strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. He finds his man, complete. That's McKinney. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10. Now a give right side. It's McKinney.
He's got it to the 43 here.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And they just keep marching right along. 1st down on a pickup of 8 there. They'll bring a tight end in motion left. They'll look to throw now on 1st down. And his throw is incomplete.
This could be the start of a nice stand from this defense now after getting walked backwards on this drive. Come through with another one here, and you have them staring at a 3rd and long, and that puts the defense in a position to dictate to the offense.
Pretty nice, aggressive run there before being brought down just inside of the 30. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. They're going to look to throw. He finds his man, complete. That's McKinney. And he gets the 1st down here as he's taken down at the 24. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive. They'll look to throw here on 1st down. And he's got his man on the out route. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20.
2nd down and 4.
Back to throw here.
And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's 3rd down. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the 1st down.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. That'll be caught out right by Allison. And he is out of bounds, getting it down to the 10. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Now that's absolutely frustrating for a defender. Had a chance to get him on the ground before he got to the sideline, but what great vision and understanding where he is on the field as he headed for the marker and picked up the 1st down.
First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Again, he'll drop to throw.
And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's second down.
One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And he'll get about 4 there as he takes it from the 10 down to the 6. Defensively, I think they can smell a stop. Ball right around the 5 here, brings up 3rd.
And I think what they've done is they put doubt in the minds of the offensive guys. What do we do? Because now you don't have a go-to play. Either side they pick, throwing it, running it, it won't be easy.
And for the second time this half, on comes the field goal unit here. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. And his kick is good. And that will tighten this one up a bit. Now a one-score game at 20-13.
So the 3 points there, and CD, that helps them inch a bit closer.
Yeah, partner, when you're losing, any points you see go on the board in your favor, you're happy to take them.
And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. And the Vancouver offense ready for their next drive. A long drive last time out for this offense, Charles. If you remember, they started basically in the shadows of their own end zone, marched it down the field, and a lot of that was through the passing game.
And partner, as a former defensive back, I'm having almost a physical reaction watching what's happening right now. But let's give credit where it's due, because they've done an excellent job moving the ball through the air. Secondary getting picked apart pass by pass. Obviously, they need to make some adjustments there on the back end.
Yeah, because offensively, we know that they're not going to be shy about throwing that football.
Back to throw now on first down. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And that will bring up second down. Operating from the gun, Hopkins. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. It'll go in the books as a 7-yard loss on the sack, and it's third down.
I thought there at the end he may have had a chance to release that, but that pocket closed a little too quickly, and down he went.
Yeah, he was certainly trying to do everything he could to extend the life of the play, probably counting in his head 1, 2, and then he ran out of time.
And they'll get this across midfield, but not nearly close to a first down as he stopped at the 48. That one good for only 6, and it leaves him with a 4th down. They bring their punter out there now as he'll punt it away for the second time. And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds.
The visitors' offense and their quarterback set to take the field once more. And he's done everything you could have asked for coming in. He's spread it around. He hasn't taken many chances. And he's potentially on his way to a big game throwing the football.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. Back to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. Now another timeout called for by the offense as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. 2nd and 1.
The throw here right sideline falls incomplete.
You've always been very good about checking my math. Am I correct? That's the first time that it's been incomplete when they've thrown it to him?
Yes, he had caught every other ball coming his way.
So they feel like they've got something really good going there, and they're going to continue to go there until the defense makes an adjustment.
That's caught inside the 20. And he's going to be out down inside the 20 at the 15. Forget the run on 3rd and 1. They shock the D and rip off a pretty big play.
There's no doubt in my mind that not many guys in this league have had the impact that he's had here in the first half of the season. He's been a big play guy from the word go and continues to be one with another one right there.
So with 1 second left in the half, on is the field goal unit. From the left hash, just a 32-yard attempt. And his kick is good. And that will do it for this first half. So we've reached halftime here in a 4-point game. As we are off to Orlando now to check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports half.
Both of these offenses had their share of high points in that first half. Each team had some big moments, and it would seem this could turn out to be a game where the last score wins.
And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. This offense ready to go to begin this third quarter. And they've got the lead. CD, what do you think the message was at halftime?
I don't think the message was too drastic, I think, at the half, or that they need to change things too much. I do think the offensive line could play a little bit better. I think they'll try and help them out more. They'll probably keep a tight end in a few more times and maybe add a running back to the formation and pick up those pass rushers, because they probably allowed a few too many sacks for comfort in the first half.
They'll run on first down. Woodard, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
And plays like that are exactly what this defense needs here early in the second half to give it a little spark. I think their halftime adjustments, what they talked about, maybe it was just a little inspirational speech. Who knows? But looks like they're ready to go.
Here we go on 2nd and 12. And this will be incomplete.
And when you're in a one-score game in the second half, now's not the time to force the football in the places where you shouldn't. And that's a smart decision to just get that one out of there.
From the gun on third down, Hopkins. And that nearly the pick that they needed. He couldn't pull it in, though, and it's 4th down.
And those two just haven't been in sync thus far. They've done a nice job against him, but still, with his talent, you would expect them to have more completions to him in this game.
Well, on that punt, we've got a man shaken up. Hopefully, obviously nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. So a decent gain there on the play, but that all gets wiped out with a penalty.
Well, that's a setback, but all the good play callers, they just move on. They find something else in the playbook. They can attack this defense, and they go right back on the offensive on this play.
7 yards there. Good enough to move the sticks. From the 32 now. Here's 1st and 10. Now a handoff up the middle. McKinney. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. 50 yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries.
That's a good, nice, crisp run for a first down. I wonder if the defense might have been loosened up a little bit, maybe anticipating a pass instead of the run that they got.
They go play action here on first down. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. A well-executed 22-yard gain.
Kind of a dangerous throw there. He's off balance when he gets rid of it. But this is all about a quarterback knowing what he can get away with. And that time, it turns into a completion and a healthy gain as well.
So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. Up the middle they go. It's McKinney. And maybe a little over pursuit there as he's able to take this down to the 25-yard line. 10 more there and another first down.
But they're getting ready to go to work now in prime real estate after that last run. Found his spot and picked up nice yardage, didn't he?
And now he's got him knocking on the door of the red zone. Now a play fake here on first down. And he will find his big tight end over the middle. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3.
It's all pretty simple sometimes, isn't it? Go where the defenders are not, and he does exactly that. Makes a nice catch to move the chains. Defense, got to find...
And he'll take it into the end zone for a touchdown. A great play there. His first touchdown on the year as they have taken the lead.
Just power football there down near the goal line. Give it to him. He's able to push his way across.
Yeah, they went heavy there. Sometimes you have those big offensive linemen come in, have to report like they're eligible, but all they're doing is getting a good stance, blocking, and getting their runner across the goal line.
Point after, right down the middle, and that gives them a 3-point lead. So the drive winds up going 75 yards in 7 plays, and it ends with a 3-yard scoring run. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30. The Vancouver offense out and about set for another series. Over on the sideline, hoping to hit that reset button between possessions. Last time out, they had to punt it away. This time hoping to finish this thing off in the end zone.
Looking middle, and that's complete. And give him 6 yards here as he stopped near the 35 at the 34.
And from the 34, here's 2nd and 4.
Back to throw. Hopkins. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down. Operating from the gun. Hopkins. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down.
Oh, I thought he had that one, and that was nearly a big 3rd down conversion to give this drive some life. Instead, they're on the spot and help separate the receiver from the ball.
A 39-yard punt, a return of 5, and out will come the offense as they take over.
The visitors' offense and their quarterback ready to go once more. And he's been a nightmare to scheme against throughout this one. This defense has been totally taken apart, and that is borne out in his numbers. He's been terrific all game long.
They'll start on the ground here on first down. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5.
If you're a coach, you'll absolutely take that run every time on first down because it really sets you up to go in a number of directions here on 2nd.
2nd and 5. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a first down. They run the counter. It's McKinney, and nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Calling no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. He'll look to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. It'll be a gain of 5. And just like that, it's 3rd down. Now back to throw. And that is incomplete.
1 first down here, and that's all, folks. Good work by this defense to hold things in check and force a punting situation.
And on now is the punter as he'll come on to kick this one away. And this will be taken at the 13. They'll score that a 36-yard punt, and the offense will come back out deep in their own territory.
And the Vancouver offense ready for their next drive.
And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old-school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. They'll get him to the ground at the 20 following a pickup of 4.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
Give him 6 yards, and they do convert on 3rd. And they'll send the slot in motion left. On 1st down.
Woodard. And that to the 30. It'll be 2nd down.
It's interesting going into this game. There was so much talk from both sides about who would control the line of scrimmage. I think we've seen who has it in this one so far.
Well, they bottled him up. He's barely averaging over 3 yards a carry right now. And tough going there as he'll only get it up to about the 31. Call it a gain of a yard, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 5. Looking to throw. Hopkins. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. And the defense coming through on 3rd down, a loss of 7 to bring up 4th.
And you get the feeling, Charles, yeah, he's got the 2 sacks now, but he may get more here. We still got a quarter and then some to go.
And the way that he is playing this game, it reminds me of one of the best golfers in the world who can use every club in the bag and make a great shot. That's what he's doing with his pass rush moves right now, showing a little bit of everything. They have no way of stopping him.
They call that a punt of 38 yards officially. Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at their 36-yard line. They'll look to throw. Quick hitter here, it's complete. Now the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves them with 2 to go on 2nd down.
And his play caller does a nice job of giving him an easy throw to start this drive, and he takes advantage of it. The completion sets up a manageable 2nd down.
And he will find his man on the outside. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down. Looking to throw. He finds his man complete. That's McKinney. No gain on the play. And that'll make it 2nd down. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the 3rd quarter has come to a close. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Back now here on EA Sports. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the 4th quarter.
A throw left sideline falls incomplete.
So much of this game is about leverage. We always talk about low man wins in the trenches. Well, it's like that in just about every position. And sometimes, if you lose that leverage and you're losing the battle, just jump up at the line of scrimmage and try and bat the ball away. And that's exactly what happened there.
And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. Now on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. That one sails out of bounds. The side judge will walk it off. And he says it went out of bounds at the 9-yard line. Nice punt.
The Vancouver offense out and about set for another series. Their defense accomplished step 1 of the mission. They forced the punt. Now they'll look to erase that deficit and take a 4th quarter lead.
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. He wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
Buying time to his left. He'll wind up getting 4 there on his own, but it will leave him now with a 3rd down situation.
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here.
And now whistles here and a flag down. Looked like someone got going a little early. And a manageable third down becomes a lot less manageable. 3rd and 7 after the false start. Back to throw. Hopkins. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he'll be just shy of the 20 at the 19 as he goes out of bounds. That'll go for a gain of 7. And it'll be 4th down. And they'll send out their punter now as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. Fair catch taken just inside the 40-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt.
And now this offense comes back out onto the field. Their defense got the stop, forced the punt, and now you really start to monitor the clock as they nurse this slim lead.
Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete.
2nd and 10.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun.
And that one too far in front. He couldn't reel it in. It's incomplete.
A couple of quick incompletions, and now they're just one more away from getting off the field. They've got options now. Could they dial up a blitz here or just drop everyone into coverage to crowd the throwing lanes?
Under pressure, and down he goes. Call it a loss of 4 there on the sack. And speaking of the number 4, it brings up 4th down now.
A 3rd and long. You knew that he was going to throw it. He just couldn't find anybody to throw it to.
Yeah, and it shouldn't have been a surprise, but that was perfect execution of their nickel defense. That 5th defensive back, the extra defender, he really tightened up things downfield in coverage, and they were able to get to him in the pocket.
Just a net of 34 there following a punt of 44 yards.
Well, the Vancouver offense ready for their next drive. See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He would love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Looking to throw. Hopkins.
At this point in the second half, one mistake on a forced throw could doom your chances of a comeback. So that's the right call there to just throw that one away.
And this offense on 3rd down today, they've had a lot of chances but not much success, converting only 3 times. This is 3rd down and 12. He's going to float this one deep right side. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
I may be an analyst, but I'm also a fan. I love it when people take the big shots downfield, but he was under a lot of duress, and I think that forced the incompletion downfield. Didn't have a real good chance to find his target.
This will be a 41-yard punt, 3 on the return.
Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive.
And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive. Well, it may seem a little unorthodox to some people. Got the lead, 4th quarter, yet he's still firing away. I think he believes that's the best way to go ahead and win the game.
Yeah, a lot of coaches say, let's just run the football, be conservative. He's sticking to his game plan.
No, that is his game, and that's what they're going to ride.
They'll run on 1st down. McKinney. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
I'm sure that that's going to be the formula. Just keep the ball on the ground. Keep that clock moving.
And when you have the lead this late in the game, above all, stay in bounds. Yes, take care of the football. Yes, gain yardage, but stay in bounds and let that clock tick.
A loss on that play, and now 3rd down gets tougher. 3rd and 6.
Now, obviously, that's some good work there defensively, being able to stop them and bringing up a key 3rd down. But if you're on the offensive side of the ball, there's an opportunity, because I know what defensive guys are thinking right now. Just stop them, get to the ball. That means they might not be sound defensively. There could be some opportunities.
And you said key 3rd down. Highlight that word, put it in bold. Here we go. So they bring out their punter as he's on here to punt it away. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. The Vancouver offense ready for their next drive. Now, if you're a fan of punting, and I know that not many people are, but this game kind of turning into one for you.
Well, it's okay if it's a skills contest, right? We're really into it then, but not during the course of an actual game. This has turned into a field position game, though. Sometimes the better punter may actually determine the outcome.
Here's 2nd and 10.
Running right, this is Langford. And he'll be upended here after a pickup of 3, getting it out to the 25.
Now 3rd down and 7.
Operating from the gun, Hopkins. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets them a 1st down.
If they get a game-changing score on this drive, it's going to be because of plays like that. That run was pure heart. Took it himself, found a way to reset the downs, and advance the ball.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this 2nd half. Here's 1st and 10. Now a give right side. Woodard. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the 1st down run. He gets maybe 3.
Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. A good decision in the end to pull it and run, gets him 9 yards and a 1st.
There he goes, and for good reason. Running with it has paid dividends earlier in this game and earlier on this drive. And until they prove they can stop him, I don't think he's going to be shy about continuing to run for 1st downs instead of airing it out.
And this defense not ready for that one as he'll take this down inside the 25. 48 yards rushing for him in the ball game now on 14 carries.
Right back to him on 1st down. And this time the yards won't come so easy as they'll, in fact, tackle him behind the line. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down. That loss of 3, a rare stumble on a promising drive. Here's 2nd and 13. Now a give right side. Lucas. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. They'll keep it on the ground. Woodard. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. They lose 2 on that last play, so things get even tougher. 3rd and long coming up.
Boy, a tough spot here as they approach the line of scrimmage. A long way to go to try to pick up this 1st down.
And he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up 4th down.
Well, how about the coverage we just saw him break out on 3rd down? Dime defense, blanketed the field with extra defensive backs and speed, unable to find an open hole to complete that pass.
And this will depend on the spot as it sails out of bounds. And they'll say it sailed out at the 10-yard line.
But now this offense comes back out onto the field.
A little less than 4 minutes remaining. And the margin for error is small with this slim lead. Operate within your 4-minute offense here, Charles?
Definitely. Remember, the 4-minute offense doesn't always correspond to what's up on the clock. What they need to do is play a little bit of keep away right now. Run the clock down. Make sure their opponent doesn't get the ball back. Their dream scenario, get enough 1st downs and make them eat up their timeouts so the game ends when you're kneeling down with the football.
2nd and 9 now. He finds his man complete. It's McKinney.
And that's a good job there by the corner. We do talk about this a lot, that a lot of corners see their job as simply covering receivers. Tackling isn't everyone's thing. But in this case, he came up quickly and made a nice, sure tackle.
Now, this is a big third down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. They'll set up a throw. And this is going to be incomplete.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a fourth down. Well done.
So they're forced to punt on fourth as this one's away. And he'll take it just outside the 40. That'll be a 43-yard punt, but a net of just 33 following a 10-yard return. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field.
Here's 1st and 10.
Back to throw. Throwing into traffic there, and that's complete. Now he's he'll look to throw. Going right side here, and that's complete.
Here comes 2nd down. Well, an unfortunate time for the penalty there. That cancels out a positive play from this offense.
Well, not to sound too trite or too accepting, but you and I both know it happens. You got to accept it and move on. Yardage, you got to get back. Focus on the next play and move on.
Back to throw. And that is incomplete.
That was well played, but that was also an example of a corner who understands his coverage, realized he had support behind him, and could be a little more aggressive in the shorter zone, and did exactly that, knocking that pass away.
And he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage. He's back to throw.
Oh, and that's going to sabotage their comeback plans. It is intercepted.
And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line. When you talk about making winning plays, that is a winning play at this stage of the game. To come up with that interception, huge.
I like how you identified that, because most people think winning plays are the offense trying to get it done. In this case, nursing a lead, they found a way to make a play on that side of the ball and maybe finish things off.
Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive.
And this game not quite in hand yet. We'll likely see all 3 timeouts defensively and then reassess where we are.
We've got to have 2 hands on the football here as they run on 1st down.
And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. You'd have to think likely another running play coming here, 2nd and 11.
He's going to get it again. Just looking to get forward and protect the ball.
Now a 2nd timeout called for by the defense, as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in the 4th. On 3rd down, it's McKinney, and he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. This is taken at the 23. So possession goes over here on the punt.
And they will take over 1st and 10. The home team's offense and their quarterback headed out for this next possession. And this defense might be about ready to wave the white flag. Nothing they have tried to throw at him has been that successful. He just processes things so quickly and makes a right read seemingly every time.
It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Just over 30 seconds remain. Here's 2nd and 10 now.
They'll look to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete.
And he's out of bounds, so give him about 9 as that stops the clock. This definitely 4-down territory at this point, but a critical 3rd down here.
Back to throw. Hopkins.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And they will get the conversion on 3rd down, but the clock, a more pressing factor.
They'll look to throw again. That's to the sideline and incomplete. They still need one completion for field goal range.
And just think about what they're going over in the huddle right now. Make the catch, get out of bounds. That's going to be tough to do. So make the catch, get up to the line of scrimmage, and clock it to have one last shot.
And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's third down.
And now a tough spot here. This is 3rd and 10.
Back to throw again. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds.
Too far for a field goal. They've got to go. It's 4th down.
One final shot. They'll look to throw.
This for all the marbles.
And this is incomplete. So no miracles here on the final play. And this ball game is over.
Well, that second half, Charles, a little bit different from the first. Not only did we have the lead change after intermission, but they were able to pitch the shutout in the second half and get an impressive victory.
And what's the old expression? That's not quite how I saw it playing out in my head. You know they didn't expect this at all. As you mentioned, went into the half with the lead. Losing the game is one thing. Getting shut out in the second half, that's a surprise.
So for our visitors, the win gets them back over 500 at 5-4 on the year. And they will head back home next week.
Meanwhile, for Vancouver,
their season is on life support somewhat now at 3-6. And they will try to get back in the swing of things next week on the road. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.